Bowzone. Hunting season just started, and I just smoked a giant. Welcome to Bowzone Live. He is a giant.
Annihilator Broadheads and Scorpion Outdoors present Bowzone Live. Brought to you by Annihilator Broadheads, Scorpion Outdoors, PV Mart, Bronc Beer, Easton, Hoyt Archery, Hex, OK Tire, River Cree Resort and Casino, and Tacticam.
Welcome to Bowzone Live here on Wild TV. Tom Gazzola alongside Darryl Legge, who joins me as co-host tonight. Listen, if you like giant whitetails, you do not want to miss tonight's show. Of course, this man beside me here, a Bowzone legend, even though it's his first time joining us this season and here in studio. Listen, Darryl, you sitting here means something, obviously. We saw Logan Johnson the other day here on this show for a reason. Give us an idea of what we're looking at right now.
I was fortunate. I tagged out. I managed to get myself in line with a pretty nice whitetail, and it's a pretty incredible experience.
What kind of name did you give this fantastic buck?
Bubbles.
Bubbles, beautiful. Okay, we'll keep it there. We'll get into Bubbles and the hunt that Darryl went on with him. We also have a fantastic buck to show you here from Gunther Tondelier. Listen, all I'm going to say is unlucky. There's some history with a few of our hunters from Bowzone Live and this buck. We'll touch base with Gunther Tondelier to discuss further. And of course, Darryl, fresh from earlier today. She was our rock star last season. Heather Wilson does it again. Maybe it was the fingernails. She had the fingernails painted last year and managed to harvest a buck, and there she is taking down another one. Anything you'd like to say about the bucks we just saw? Yeah,
Gunther's deer is it's an incredible representation of a giant 4x4. Heather, again, like you said, she's a machine. She gets out there, she puts her animals in front of her all the time. She can get it done.
Darryl, really quickly, you know, I know you watched this show last season, but what enticed you about hopping on this year?
I wanted to see if I could self-film myself. Everybody's doing this self-filming, and
Yep.
it's a hard thing to do. So I want to see if I get that done, and I want to see if I can share any of my experiences with other people.
And you're testing yourself as a co-host, which is fantastic. Looking forward to it. Plenty of energy from this guy. We're going to see Bubbles later on from Darryl Legge. Of course, check out the Wild TV app. All your favorite hunters, and it's all categorized by animals. Check it out, Wild TV's fantastic new app, wherever you get your apps. We'll be back with more Bowzone Live here on Wild TV. Tom Gazzola, alongside today's co-host, Darryl Legge. Welcome back to Bowzone Live here on Wild TV. Tom Gazzola, Darryl Legge in studio as we get set to go into another fantastic episode. Darryl, I'll ask you this because it's your first season on this show. What do you love about the Bowzone?
The Bowzone, at any given chance, at any given time, so you can have a chance to shoot a giant whitetail deer. They're around, they're roaming, and we're in a great place where they are. So it's amazing.
You were around, you were roaming, and you managed to find a giant whitetail deer. Let's take a look at Darryl Legge's work.
Usually in the beginning of November, the whitetail deer are in the pre-rut stages. The does really aren't estrusing yet, but they're starting to get onto it. In my area, there's a couple of does that were already hot, and some of the big boys were already in chasing them, and they had them on lockdown. They must have already finished their rut in that certain area with those certain does because they were moving around pretty good. So it's about 4:30 in the afternoon when I started self-filming. I turned the camera on, I just let it record. I had a path beside me, which I want to call path A, and one in front of me I want to call path B. And I had the camera most of the night split on both those areas. When my deer finally started to come down in front of me, he chose to come down path B. I managed to catch a glimpse of him coming out on the bottom right corner of the screen, you'll see that. I grunted to him a couple of times. He wanted nothing to do with it. I give him a snort wheeze and it turned him on a dime. He came in, he beat up a bush. I get my bow, I see him coming. He walks out in front of me, about 23 yards, had him in the opening. I give him a grunt just out of my mouth. He didn't stop. And I let an arrow fly, and he made that notorious crashing sound.
I just hit him. I just hit him. There's my arrow. Oh my God.
Hey guys, Darryl here from Bowzone Live. I managed to score tonight. I got lucky on a pretty decent buck. The shot looked really good. I left it. I got Kevin, one of our crew members, giving me a hand. We're going to go and have a look, so let's go after it. We'll for the follow-up. All right, so my tree stands back here. The shot was right here, and we got blood. So we're going to just follow the blood in. The way he went, blood all up the tree here, went all the way down here. You hear the spot. There he is. White Valley, buddy. He's right here. Awesome. Oh, look at this dude. Oh,
oh, Darryl, that's a dandy. That is a dandy.
that's a beautiful deer. Thanks for coming, man.
Let's take a closer look at it.
All right, sitting here with my 2021 Whitetail. My tag is folded. It's awesome. I couldn't be happier. It's not my target buck, but come on. That's a serious Whitetail in the land of giants. Just totally blessed to be hunting in the Edmonton Bowzone.
That was a nice deer, Darryl. How many points you got there? What's this?
1,
got
2,
junk
3,
everywhere.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8 over there, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 by 7.
Wow. Yeah, that's a dandy.
I'll tell you what, having this hex stuff on seemed to help. If you ever tried to self-film your own hunts, it's pretty near impossible. We're doing the impossible here. I had a good friend Kevin come on down here and give me a hand getting this thing out. Come on in, Kevin.
Well, I'd be honored. What a deer. Congratulations. This thing's amazing.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah, he's a brute.
So tell us how he acted when he came in and why the shot wasn't on camera.
So basically, he was walking away from me. I first caught him about 80 yards in the bushes, and I knew he's a good-looking deer. So I grunted to him 2 times. You heard that on film too. But I grunted to him, nothing. I blew him a snort wheeze. He turned. He came at me right now, beat up a bush, and came right at me. Came out to the path, looked both ways. You can either go down A or B. I had the camera on A. He chose B, and walked out in front of me at 23 yards, and I lasered him.
Classic late pre-rut behavior. And we're not even at the estrus yet.
No, not at all.
Incredible. How do you pass up a buck like this? That's
Yeah, I know. He's got massive character, massive. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8 by 9. So
another
cool
giant Bowzone buck.
Yeah, we're blessed living here. Totally blessed.
For sure.
We get to hunt in one of the best places in North America for bow hunting whitetails.
Well, good job again, and I guess you have one more tag in County Strathcona that you can take advantage of, and
Absolutely.
that's close to Bowzone as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So hopefully get that done.
All right.
Great buck, Darryl. Absolutely fantastic. Good to see Kevin Wilson in there as well. That's the teamwork element that we see amongst our hunters here on Bowzone Live. Listen, that was Bubbles. I know Logan had Ricky. Are we expecting a Julian, a J-Rock, a Mr. Leahy coming up somewhere in the next couple weeks?
Let's hope we can get that done. That'd be awesome.
Darryl, how does that buck rank amongst? I know Ryan Kohler was telling me you've had some monsters in your day, but how does that one rank for you?
I've been very fortunate. I've shot some pretty nice whitetail. He ranks right up there. He's a really nice deer.
Absolutely beautiful. We're going to see another nice buck coming up with Gunther Tondelier. What can you tell us about what you know about Gunther?
Gunther's a veteran from the Bowzone. He's a diehard. If anybody can get it done, he can get it done. If there's a big deer around and he's after it, that deer's in a lot of trouble.
I love it. Darryl Legge will be with us all show long, co-hosting after tagging out with that beautiful buck there, Bubbles. Plenty more coming up. Gunther Tondelier on the way here on Bowzone Live. You're watching Bowzone Live here on Wild TV. Tom Gazzola, Darryl Legge, Gunther Tondelier joins us. He's got the fire going. Looks like he's nice and cozy. Maybe he's got a libation off screen. I don't know. Gunther, how is everything going this season for you here on Bowzone Live?
Well, I've had a great season. It's glad to be back, and I'll tell you, I'd rather be lucky than good any day.
Absolutely.
Darryl, did you want to ask Gunther anything about his hunt and how things went? Because I feel like there was a buck that might have been a little bit unlucky this season.
No, absolutely. So Gunther, yeah, congratulations, by the way. I haven't really got to see you since then, but congratulations on an incredible animal. I'm not sure you didn't get to you tried self-filming that, but you didn't catch the shot on film. Is that correct?
Yeah, so I was trying to get it on the big camera, but he kind of stepped out of the frame while I was making up my mind whether it was big enough or not. But thankfully, the Tacticam got the rest, so it was good.
That's awesome.
Gunther, you're a sharpshooter. You're also great with the camera. Let's have a look at what you're able to accomplish.
I'm an outfitter, and I do a bunch of bowzone hunts, black bear and moose here in Alberta, and it's been a long stretch through COVID not having any clients, so it was a relief this August to hear that the border was partially opening up, and it was nice to get out in early season. I ran a couple of whitetail hunts in September 1st for the first week and caught some great bucks on video. It was a great way to get back into it and start scouting for some whitetail. So. In the summer, we get out and we put out all our cameras and try to see who's out there, what bucks survive, try to build a hit list for the fall. And I had one buck in particular that we've had a couple years history on. He's a big, clean, typical. When I got this picture of this deer, that's who I decided to hunt. He was in a woodlot that doesn't usually have much activity. But we'd catch this buck on camera just a few days of the year. So I decided to commit the first half of my personal time for Bowzone Live in early November to this spot. And I sat there for 10 days waiting for this buck to come in, and I saw 3 little spiked deer in that entire stretch. I didn't expect that little of activity. It's actually the least deer activity I've seen ever anywhere. It was really dead. So seeing nothing day after day, save those couple little guys, got to me, and I finally pulled the plug on that deer. Went back to where I was hunting before, last year mostly, and had a good day, seeing a bunch of deer. Saw one nice buck come in. He had a bunch of broken tines on one side, and that was cool and exciting, especially after spending 10 days hardly seeing anything. So I had one day in there, and again, it had a lot of nice bucks, but not a big giant typical or anything. So without much to go on after that one day, which would have been day 11 for me of hunting for myself, I decided to change gears again, and Ryan offered up a property for me to go hunt. It's a property that several other people have hunted in the past. It's had good success. We didn't really have a lot of cameras out and a lot of effort this year there because Ryan was tagged out, but just judging from past experience, I decided to go spend 4 or 5 days in there.
Just had Let that nice buck go by. It's 44 yards. Gonna wait for bigger. We'll see what else happens.
I just caught movement in the spruce trees coming through downwind and flicked on the big camera and noticed that it was a good buck. He came to this scrape under a spruce tree, but I had an aspen tree right in my way in the video camera. I couldn't really see what he was like. I just got a glimpse of a 4x4, so usually a 4x4's got to be huge for me to shoot, so I didn't even grab the bow. I was just excited to get some good close-up video on him because I could tell he was going to come right in. And sure enough, as he started walking in, he started getting bigger and bigger. He was checking off everything. He was heavy, he was dark, he was tall, and I came to full draw. I grunted one time to stop him, but he didn't stop. I grunted a second time, and he stopped, and I just settled the pin behind the shoulder and squeezed off.
Buck down, baby. Yeah. He's a big 4x4. Nice buck, I'm happy. Let's go check him out. That's just a big-bodied, big, heavy buck. I'm pumped.
That's a big, dark, heavy 4x4. Big bladed brows. Oh, as far as a 4x4 goes, they don't get much prettier. He's heavy. He's just awesome. It was 28 yards. The Annihilator just pounded right through there in the pocket. He didn't go far. He went maybe 40, 50 yards. It's always bittersweet. We got prime 10 days left, but how do you let a deer like that go? He's awesome. I think we call this buck lucky, if I'm not mistaken. Mike, who's come out to help me, had a chance at him 2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years.
And then Jason Moss was in here last year and had a chance at him, and today he made a mistake. If it is the same buck, we'll have to check the video. That's what I'm talking about. 300 pounds. He's a good one.
After this, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go and we're gonna look at the video from 2 years ago. Mike Bichon had this deer in the same spot, and it came in, hit a scrape, walked past him at 40, couldn't get a shot. I think this is the same buck. And then last year, Jason Moss actually had a whitetail come right in under the stand during Bowzone Live, and he just missed him under the belly. We'll air a little bit of the video right now so you can see it and you can decide for yourself. Is this lucky? Did Gunther end the lucky streak?
Was I the lucky hunter to tag lucky?
I'm thinking he was.
Either way, I'm lucky.
I'm using the Wild TV app to check all the old content, so that's how we're checking on all the deer. Okay, so this is the same spot you were sitting, but I think this might be lucky. So this is 2 years ago on the same stand. That looks like him.
It does look like him.
That big buck came in from just north of here. I put down a scent drag and he followed it in, but he didn't follow it all the way. I was hoping he would. He ended up stopping short at about 40 yards, and I'd ranged this up before my rangefinder was acting up. I couldn't get an accurate range on him, but he finally gave me a shot. The camera arm and this bow hanger right here were in the way. If I had stepped over the tree stand,
It's him. It has to be him.
Lucky's dead.
Okay, now let's see if Jason Moss also missed him. Okay, now we're back on the video of Jason Moss's buck coming in. This is exactly where Gunther sat.
I'm kind of staring off into the field and I looked to my left and all I saw were antlers. And it was just, it's one of those moments that a bow hunter lives for, I think, that we all live for. Your heart just starts racing, it starts pumping. It's like no other feeling. I can't even, it's hard to describe it. The instant I saw him, I knew he was a shooter and I took a shot I was comfortable with. And I watched my arrow fly and fly just under his belly. It skimmed some hair, definitely not a hit, clean miss. So, you know, it's one of those things where I'll replay that moment the rest of my life, probably while I'm sitting in the stands, while I'm doing other things. It'll always come back to me, but it's just a moment you'll never forget.
It happened quick, it was exciting, and you know, I was happy to get it partially on video camera. Tacticam saved the day. If you watched the show last year, you know that I shot a buck without getting the camera on. It happened too quick, so pretty disappointed in myself for not getting it on video. So I'm getting closer. This year I got partially on video. I'm hoping maybe season 3 I can get the whole thing on the big camera properly, but there's a little more to look at this year. So
Big Bowzone whitetails. You're watching Bowzone Live.
Absolutely fantastic. This guy is pumped up for you, Gunther.
Gunther, congratulations. That was an amazing shot. Good shot.
Gunther, calm,
Thanks, man.
calm, cool, and collected as usual. We saw the history there with Jason Moss. I remember that from last season, and the excitement, the disappointment of the miss. And then good to see Ryan Kohler get the app promo in there as well, using it to get the confirmation on Lucky. Certainly fantastic. Darryl, I want to ask you what Gunther's reputation is like amongst hunters, especially those in the bow zone.
Absolutely. Gunther's known as a big deer killer. He can get it done. I personally think he's got one of the most amazing whitetail collections out of anybody anywhere. He has an amazing collection of whitetails.
Gunther, high praise. You want to give us a taste of Darryl Legge's reputation too? May as well.
yeah, I don't know. I think it'd be interesting to compare. Darryl's got quite a wall himself. I remember last time I talked to Darryl when I shot one of my big bucks. We were texting back and forth all morning long, and there's maybe a 3-minute gap between texts. And my next text to him was, "Got one." And he's like, "You're kidding? What? Just now?" And he was out to help me retrieve one of those giants. So it was awesome.
Gunther, what's coming up next for you? Maybe touching base with Zach Brown. I'm hearing some rumblings that might be happening.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get out. I'm already getting tired of sitting at home. It's prime time out there. There's lots of action, and see if maybe I can get in a tree and film Zach doing some hunting.
Darryl, anything else for Gunther?
I just want to know, Gunther. So you've been self-filming yourself for a couple of years now. How do you find it? Is it very challenging?
It is. There's a lot of stuff that you got to get just right at that moment of truth, and you know, once you get into your bow, you kind of completely forget about the video camera. So you got to get it done ahead of time and anticipate the shot and where it's going to happen. And this year, my lesson was that I spent too much time judging that deer, and he walked out of the frame by the time I realized he was a shooter. And just a lot of extra little things. But I think, like you, I appreciate the extra challenge, and it's definitely fun to get into.
Absolutely.
Gunther, fantastic job. Great footage, as always. Certainly appreciate your time here tonight. Gunther Tondelier, fantastic buck. Welcome back to Bowzone Live here on Wild TV. Tom Gazzola, Darryl Legge, and Jim Thompson joining us now. Jim, fantastic to have you on tonight. Another Bowzone legend, Darryl, right?
Absolutely. Jim's no stranger to the game. I remember one of the first times I met him, we went to the ABA Awards, and I think he had his Grandmasters or something. I can't remember. It was a big painting, and I was pretty thrilled.
Jim, what have you been up to?
Yeah, I know him. Pardon me?
What have you been, well, you can respond to Darryl, but what have you been up to and let us know?
Yeah, I know Darryl for a lot of years, man. I remember when he shot his first big buck in the Bowzone, his face was smiling from ear to ear, for
Like
goodness
that?
sakes. And yeah, oh yeah, you're just a young little buck at the time, man. You're just excited as a kid could be, and he still gets that way. It's awesome to see. I know him for a long time. I've known Ryan Kohler for quite a few years too. My son Taylor's on the program this year, and he actually plays hockey with Ryan. So my hockey days are a little behind me, but him and Ryan's a little speedster, and they play a lot of hockey together too, besides just the bow hunting.
The camaraderie on this show is absolutely tremendous. How you guys all have the history with one another, almost like a family feel. And you mentioned Taylor, your son. What's it like, Jim, hunting with your son?
Oh, it's a lot of fun. Oh man, I think you think it would be like all fun and games, but we give each other the gears all day long, and we have the little group chat going, and everybody's barbing each other and cheering each other's on. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. He's been hunting in the Bowzone since he was I think 12 or 13, so it's been a lot of years, and he's a really skilled hunter, and he's a lot of fun to be with. It's actually I really enjoying this last 2 weeks.
Absolutely. I remember Taylor, he didn't even drive yet. I used to have to drive him to his stands. I remember when he got his driver's license, so I've known Taylor for a while too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they know. It's a nice little community. A lot of the people on the Bowzone Live this year I know, and there's some new people that I'm meeting, and it's a fun little group. It's an awesome little event. I'm glad we got asked to join the guys this year.
Absolutely love it. Jim, let's take a look at what you and Taylor have been up to.
Well, Ryan Kohler invited my son Taylor and I to be part of the Bowzone Live crew this year. It's November 2021. This is my 4th decade of hunting big whitetails in the Alberta Bowzone, Edmonton Bowzone specifically. So and we've got quite a few stands set up. We kind of know where they're moving, but it's a tough zone to get anything in because they're not the most patternable deer around. My son Taylor and I have been hunting together quite a bit. Taylor kind of lives his life within the confines of the Bowzone, so he knows his zone well. Him and I have been hunting it with him since he's been like 12 or 13. But this year, Ryan said, why don't you guys come out and try to get one in the Bowzone Live? So that's what we're doing.
Well, it's been a good sit so far. We're just kind of past mid-November here. I came in, sat for the morning in a spot where I'm just trying to catch some deer coming off the field, going back into bedding. And sure enough, I did my first rattle about half hour into my sit, and 3 different bucks all came out from actually from the bush where I was hoping they'd be heading to. Just kind of played around with them, got some good footage, and I had another 2 bucks come by, not close, but just kind of cruising through. So it's been a good morning. Things seem to be picking up here. So.
Well, I'm out here hunting, back in the Bowzone this morning. Last night I had a few does come by me, you'll see on the video. And I've been out here hunting my target buck, which we call the zombie drop tine. I got a couple trail cam pictures of him I'll show you guys. But he came by last night chasing a doe. I had 4 does go by the camera. I had set up on a lane that they usually move through. And he chased one of the does in behind me. So I had to swing around, try to get the shot. It was kind of an awkward angle. I couldn't get the camera around. Long story short, anyway, I clipped a tree, missed him. But he still kept chasing her, and we saw some more camera pictures of him last night. So hoping him and my paths will cross again later this week. I found over the years that when we get the deep snow in the latter part of November in the Edmonton Bowzone, that it's probably a hunter's advantage. So it's just a matter of getting out there, finding where they're moving, and then getting your stand adjusted, getting set up. You can even put up a ground blind. They tuck in nice now because they hide behind all the snow in the bush really well. I'll show you how much snow there is. There's a lot of snow.
Jim, fantastic footage. I feel like we're going to be seeing a lot more from you and Taylor.
Absolutely. So Jim, we're getting down to the wire here. What's your game plan moving forward for the rest of the season?
Yeah, so we are, Taylor and I have been out the last 3 days, morning, noon and night, taking a little bit of breaks here and there. So we've been sharing some pictures around that we've got a couple real good target bucks that we've been getting really close on. So we're hoping that we're going to get one of those down. We got most of the whole week off, so that's what we're doing. We're chasing those big bucks and try to bring you some good footage.
Jim, keep it up. Best of luck to you and Taylor. Absolutely love it. Thanks for the time today. Certainly appreciate it. we'll catch up with you a little bit further down the road here. And next up, we're going to catch up with Heather Wilson. Of course, today managed to take down a beautiful buck. So we'll do that and plenty more right here on Bowzone Live on Wild TV. Welcome back to Bowzone Live here on Wild TV. Tom Gazzola with Darryl Legge. And listen, we've seen some incredible hunters already in today's show, and another one joins us. It is Heather Wilson. Heather, I've been calling you a rock star this entire season. You were great last season, and tonight you come through again in the clutch. Just tell us about your day today a little bit.
Well, it started out like everyone else. It was a little chilly in the morning. Got into the stand nice and early, and it was no wind, which was, it's a blessing and a curse. It's a little warmer, but it doesn't hide any movement or anything in the stand. And then I started to rattle. The guys were saying that rattling was working and bucks were coming. So I thought, okay, I'm going to try to rattle. And I started seeing deer. I saw probably 4 bucks before mine came in. And mine came in about 5 minutes after I rattled. It was pretty cool.
Darryl, anything for Heather?
Yeah, Heather, amazing shot. We've seen some photos. Congratulations on that. I got a question for you. Maybe you can give us a tip on how you stay warm during these cold weather temperatures, because I can't stand it myself and it's cold out there. But yeah, as a woman, you guys get colder. So any tips you can give anybody that how you stay warm right now?
For me, the trick is to layer a lot. And I find that because women don't have the same upper body strength as men too, I can't overbulk my upper body because then you can't pull your bow. It just gets a lot harder. So I've learned that the heated vest is a really good investment, and I can keep my upper layers down. Another trick I've learned is if you put like a body warmer stick-on heater thing on your arm, it keeps the heat on your arms and you don't have to layer up quite as much along with that vest. The other thing is I use Fanatic Whitetail, and it's so warm and it's quiet.
One of the other tricks, and maybe a lucky charm, I suppose, Heather, is the fingernails. You did it last year. Is this a recent photo? Did you have them again this year and today?
Yeah, I pretty much did the same thing. You can see my nails. They're I think it's going to be a tradition because it just seemed to work well last year, and it worked again. So maybe next year it'll have to happen again.
I'm a guy and I think it's awesome. Keep it going on. It's great.
Thanks, Darryl.
Heather, we're going to take a look at what you've been up to leading up to today. Let's have a look at what Heather Wilson has been keeping busy with.
So I just had a really nice buck come through. He was following some does. I couldn't get him to leave them. I tried grunting and he definitely thought about it, but he was following her, so I'm thinking she's either in estrus or just about to go in. Then I had 3 does come right under my stand, and I was hoping that maybe he would circle back and be with them, but I haven't seen him yet, so maybe I'll do one last thing before nightfall tonight. Got about an hour left. Hopefully he'll come back. So, I was just walking out and I found a new rub. This is a really cool rub. Wasn't here yesterday, and you can see fresh shavings down there at the bottom. It's November 17th. Yesterday, winds were like 50-something kilometers an hour, and it snowed most of the day. It was really cold. So I took the day off, and I didn't think there'd be much moving. Walking in, there were lots of tracks that happened after the snow, because I think the deer hunkered down, and then as soon as the snow stopped, they started to move. And I'm hoping that they're gonna come by me. I have 3 scrapes. I opened them up this morning, put a little bit of doe estrus in them. Hopefully, it's gonna make one of those big boys curious enough to come close enough for me to get an arrow. So, here we go. It's -11. It's pretty
Heather, great footage there. We're going to talk about and see your buck on Thursday's show, but Darryl does have a couple of quick questions in regard to how you managed to take down a fantastic buck today.
Absolutely. Heather, real quick, how'd you get that guy to come in today? Did you rattle him? Were you grunting? How'd he come in?
I rattled, and about 5 minutes later, he came strutting in. But I have probably two blind spots where you don't get a lot of warning. And so he came in one of those blind spots, and he kind of surprised me.
Nicely done, Heather. Nicely done indeed.
Great
Listen,
job.
really quickly, are you going to get Kev to paint his nails? Because you already got Darryl on board.
That's up to Kev. Kev's doing pretty well on his own without it right now. So we'll see. He has a few more days to get it done, and I think he's going to do it.
All right, Heather, thanks for hopping on tonight. Look forward to seeing that buck in the footage on Thursday. Plenty more Bowzone Live coming up right here on Wild TV. This is Bowzone Live here on Wild TV. And Darryl, listen, we've seen a lot of great footage today, and in that footage we've seen our hunters helping each other out. And I know it seems like you guys are in those stands on your own for hours and hours and hours, but how does teamwork actually come into play when it comes to this time of year?
Absolutely, Tom. This time of year, we do have lulls, and you get times you don't see deer. Having guys that you can talk to, text to, see what they're seeing, see what's going on, the mental game is really challenging right now, and it pays off big time if you can speak to somebody about what's going on in your spot.
We saw you take down Bubbles, and obviously that's a great individual accomplishment, but then, you know, we see Kevin Wilson jump in there, and he's helping you out. We saw Ryan Kohler in there with Gunther Tondelier. We're teasing Heather Wilson about Kevin, and that camaraderie and that love between one another is certainly there. The Thompsons as well. How do you like to use others to help you out when you're in the hunt?
I just listen. I use them in a mental state. When I start having that lull, I really listen to what they're saying, what they're seeing, and just the camaraderie. The camaraderie really helps. It boosts you up when you don't want to go out anymore. When you don't want to get up in the mornings, it's hard. It's hard being a bow hunter, chasing these whitetail during this time of year. It's really hard. It can drain on you mentally, physically, and having other guys to boost you up is a really, really big deal.
Two guys boosting each other up: Logan Johnson, Michael Vachon. Let's find out what they've been up to.
Well, I'm dropping Mike off at a pretty awesome spot. I know it's dark, you can hardly see me right now. We're getting in the stand early, or I'm going to set him up in the stand early, then I'm going to boogie out of here. And hopefully he has an awesome day, and hopefully I get a call in an hour or two that a big buck is down. Good luck, Michael.
Thanks, buddy.
So, it's 11:45. Had 2 bucks and 3 does come by since first light. The 3 does I'm kind of like bedded around here, and then the 1 doe decided to fight the other 2 does. And I kind of got one of them on film. The other one I couldn't get. It happened so quick. I didn't actually expect it to happen at all. Should be good. I think those does are still back there a little bit, and I'm hoping it draws a couple bucks in from over there somewhere. So Logan put me up in here today. There's two really good shooters. One's our target, is an old buck, and that's the one I wanna put down. I guess a couple other ones. And who knows? It's the rut. You never know what you get when bucks are cruising around. So I'm gonna eat my sandwich and have my juice box.
like a reverse elk.
That's awesome. Well, that's a pretty sweet sit, man. I think we got to get back on that deer, though.
I think that deer needs to have some carbon pass through his lungs.
Yeah, all right. Let's get him next time.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're rooting on Mike, certainly, and he's got Logan there helping him out, and we had Logan in the co-host chair the other night, and we talked about Ricky, his fantastic buck. So go get one, Mike. We look forward to seeing what you're able to pull off. Speaking of teamwork, Darryl, we have this fantastic group chat with all the hunters and everyone involved with the show, and one of the other new hunters, Michelle Van Dam, reached out, had a question, and we actually have what she asked the group chat. And it was, hey, Darryl, can you record one of your snort wheezes? I'd love to hear it. I use it while I'm rattling. I stop, then snort, wheeze, I grunt a time or two, then go back to rattling. And you actually responded like immediately with some fantastic footage.
So Michelle, I use this Primos call. I don't know if you can get it anymore. I think Canadian Tire might still have it. But it's got the snort wheeze up top and just a grunt at the bottom. And you can also change the whole inside. Doe, bleat, like a lot of stuff. I don't really play with that stuff. I have in the past, but I just keep it pretty common. But you got your grunt. And this is exactly what I do when I snort wheeze. That's all I do. When I can't get them to stop at a grunt, that snort wheeze, for my luck, what I've had, it'll spin them on a dime. So good luck.
Darryl, fantastic stuff there. Helping out your fellow hunters, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you learn so much. This app that we're all using on this Bowzone Live chat session, I'll call it. It's pretty incredible. It's an amazing tool.
Hopefully it pays off for Michelle as well as our other hunters who haven't tagged out yet. Plenty more Bowzone Live coming up. Absolutely fantastic show once again here on Bowzone Live. Big thank you to Darryl Legge in the co-host chair for the first time. Great job, Darryl. What's coming up next for you, pal?
Now, thanks for having me, by the way, Tom.
Absolute pleasure.
I'm going to hunt Strathcona. I still got a Strathcona tag, so I'm going to go after that. But before that, I think it's Bronc beer time.
There you go, a natural. Darryl Legge. If you want to see what Darryl was up to and look back at some of what these amazing hunters have done, you can check out the Wild TV app at anywhere an app is available, whether you're on Android or, of course, iPhone as well. Darryl, great job. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Look forward to doing this again.
Annihilator Broadheads and Scorpion Outdoors present Bowzone Live. Brought to you by Annihilator Broadheads, Scorpion Outdoors, PV Mart, Bronc Beer, Easton, Hoyt Archery, Hex, OK Tire, River Cree Resort and Casino, and Tacticam.